Good morning. Welcome to Morning Review on Wednesday, the 22nd of June. This is Kim Watson speaking. Okay, so looking at the euro dollar first, and yesterday we finally managed to fill the gap on the euro, so that's one gap out of the way at least. We've just through the Asian session here come and tested the weekly pivot, which has given us a bit of a bounce at the moment, and there is potential still for a further bit of movement as we've got the daily pivot above us. So there's a possibility for a bit more of a push up towards that sort of level. Um, it's in between here, and I think if we see any signs of the pound being sold off, the euro may follow again. Today, news-wise on the euro, there's very little until we got Fed Chair Yellen testifying again. Now, her report was released yesterday, and then she testified, and we did actually get a little bit of volatility after her report was provided, but I'll be surprised if much of it was down to what she was saying. In fact, Draghi's report beforehand probably caused the sell-off there. Anyway, very little today apart from that. Existing home sales in the US rarely cause any excitement, and crude oil inventory as well could create a bit of volatility on the Canadian dollar. So, if on the upside, if we catch a daily pivot call, it's not got many points to it. If we start breaking down this little trend here, like these lower highs, lower lows, we may be on for a retest that weekly pivot, and maybe even down towards the S1. Cable's starting to consolidate. It's surprising. It's yesterday put in this reversal bar, so if anything, maybe with the uncertainty of the poll coming tomorrow, we could see some selling, but we've just got to see what the charts do and the price does. Price action is. It could likewise just be a really tight ranging day. I would imagine most of the institutions would have shed the positions they don't want to be holding by now, and it's probably just floating there. Many auto systems will be switched off and the volumes will be thin, but well, who knows. Anyway, so from where we're sitting, as I say, reversal bar from yesterday, it does look from that like perhaps it might come back to its 21 moving average sort of area, a bit of a retrace. It got extended from that sort of level, so maybe if it's going to correct, that could be a direction it heads for. That will probably tie in most likely with the S1 area, but that's what I'm really looking for. Anything breaking this 50 MA on the analyses here may, as I say, see us selling off a bit. Very tight range relatively there. Dollar yen, had a bit of a double bottom-ish yesterday. Not really capitalised on any yet. It may yet push up there once again, but not looking wonderful at the moment. Let's look at the 60-minute. Yeah, I mean, it's consolidating here. If it can break the highs, or near-term highs, get above that 21, maybe it will push on further. I would really like to see the euro and the pound coming off for this to be flying up, so it's all correlated. Aussie dollar. So yesterday it almost inched above the prior highs there, not managed to close above there though. Has effectively confirmed a higher low there, so we could see a continuation of this. Has come back. Air kissed, just about touched the 4-hourly 21. Pushing up from there, so it's just in the short term put a higher low in. Bit bitty, but could push on towards the R1, maybe yesterday's highs at this rate. A failure of the lower side trend here. I'd be looking for the potential of it coming back down to the lows and then the S1. Okay, and finally the Canadian dollar. So oil's been shoving up again towards the $50, just over the $50 mark, and what we're seeing is consequently is the Canadian dollar just strengthening some more against the US. This is the US stroke Canadian dollar. So I've seen this move down. This is the strength of the Canadian dollar. At the moment, it's certainly looks like it's may drift down there. The ranges are getting smaller. It's almost, I mean, the pivots are so pinched here. A very tight range yesterday. Very little movement in oil, I guess, and we're seeing, as a consequence, we're seeing a little movement. But perhaps if you can start pushing down here, breaking on, we'll catch that S1, yesterday's lows, and maybe run down towards the S2 there, and the the weekly S1 pivot. But not too far away from being oversold on an hourly basis. Okay. That's pretty much it today. As I said, we've got voting tomorrow. We've got very little news today. Some other news that might affect CAD is the core retail sales at 1:30. Actually, might give it a little bit blip later. And of course, on CAD point of view, we've got crude oil inventories coming out, which may affect it at 3:30. So not a lot out there. I think we could be in for a bit of a funny old day, but we'll see. Have a great one, however it turns out. Bye for now.